Please have a seat, my friends. Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I certainly hope, well, you're already there. It sounds like you're all in a holly jolly mood. And I'm glad to hear it because we're counting down to everyone's favorite holiday, Jack in the Box's annual fast food fest, the 24 days of Jackmas. Personally, I try to keep Jackmas in my heart all year round and then clear it from my browser history. Now get your mind out of the gutter, because again, the 24 days of Jackmas is nothing more than a seasonal holiday deal at Jack in the Box. You know their slogan, if you're gonna jack, at least do it in the box. Now, if you it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. If you want to join the Jackmas festivities, just hop on the Jack app, which is not only the Jack in the Box phone app, but also an insult you hear at Red Sox games. Go back to New York, you frickin' Jack app. Once you've jacked into the Jack app, if you want to get in on Jackmas, you must first join the Jack Pack. Remember, in the Jack Pack, no eye contact. And watch your back, because the Jack Pack has a knack for the sack tap. Now, another... You're welcome. You're welcome. Merry Jackmas. Merry Jackmas, everybody. In other corporate holiday cheer, Spotify is releasing its annual Wrapped playlists, where they recap your streaming habits for the year. And once again, the #1 most streamed artist globally was Taylor Swift. That's no surprise. That's no surprise. She's topping every list at this point. She was just named #1 kitchen tile installer in the tri-state area. Taylor's version. For the first time, Spotify included audiobooks, and the #1 most streamed title is the hit fantasy romance A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's apparently a super erotic fantasy book series about fairies. And if you do know what it is, get out of the bathtub, you're all pruny, and you forgot to pick up the kids from school. Merry Jackmas. But you better get some free Jack in the Box. What else? Oh, the big thing everyone's talking about is Rap's new feature, Your Musical Evolution, which gives your music taste some weird labels like Pink Pilates, Princess, Roller Skate Pop, and After Hours Football Rap, and Cinnamon Softcore Art Deco. Okay, sounds fun. Let's see what I got this year. Here you go. This can't be right. I got Church Dad No Ass Reggaeton. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is that a... Oh, there you go. Thank you, sir. We keep learning bad stuff about Trump's Secretary of Defense nominee and co-worker about to Dutch oven this elevator. Pete Hegseth. The latest allegation, you're a little late on the booing. The latest allegation is that at a 2016 Fox and Friends Christmas party, Hegseth reportedly caused a disturbance leading to a human resource department intervention. Ooh, human resource interventions are the worst. Pete, when you drink, it makes me feel like the company is legally liable. The HR, some people have been to an HR intervention. The HR talking to clearly didn't work because soon after, Hegseth attended the wedding of a Fox News colleague where he reportedly got so drunk that he struggled to stay upright in a men's bathroom, and friends asked a producer who was there to get him a ride home. Okay, finally, someone at Fox News who's responsible is what I would say if that sentence did not end with, so he could make it to the set by 6 a.m. This man is clearly too drunk to stand. Quick, get him to a couch and point a camera at him. Hegseth tried to do damage control in a recent interview where he explained that, in fact, he's the victim.
It is the classic art of the smear. Take whatever tiny kernels of truth, and there are tiny, tiny ones in there, and blow them up.
Coincidentally, taking tiny kernels and blowing them up is exactly how I've been watching the drama around Pete Hegseth. His mom said, what? There's also some bad news for Secretary of Health and Human Services nominee and crust that formed on top of the gravy, RFK Jr. FK Jr. is a big fan of raw milk. Well, he's going to have to find a new source, folks, because sales have been suspended at the farm he buys from after bird flu was detected in its unpasteurized milk. Wow. Wow, birds are not easy to milk. No. No. The little ones, you just got to juice them. Bird flu is very serious, but raw milk can be dangerous all by itself. According to one infectious disease specialist, if you think about how feces drop from cattle, that might contaminate the underside of the animal, which is where you have the udders. Also, if you think about how feces drop from cattle, get a new hobby. The whole reason Louis Pasteur came up with the idea of heating raw milk was to kill bacteria and viruses that are common in milk. It's a discovery that is widely credited with reducing the spread of foodborne illnesses such as typhoid, tuberculosis, and scarlet fever. Yes, many people forget that for most of human history, the #1 cause of death was lunch. What else? Oh, it's been a kooky week over in not America. On Tuesday, South Korea imposed surprise martial law for 6 hours. Thankfully, it passed, and now the world is at peace. Except, oh, I forgot, yes, France's government has just collapsed. And I'm being told we have footage of the collapse. Yeah, you gotta be careful. That's why. That collapse. That's why you don't overbeat your coalition, okay? Even if it is Jackmas. Excuse me. Jackmas. This is all happening. All of this is happening. All of this is happening because of France's now former Prime Minister, Michel Barnier, seen here about to sing Je suis une petite teapot. Barnier had a budget bill that he wanted to pass, but he didn't have the votes for it, so he just bypassed Parliament to push it through, so lawmakers voted to oust him. Unfortunately, in France, they can't pass laws without the Prime Minister, and even worse, France's Parliament is almost evenly divided between the far right, the left wing, and centrists, and few candidates will please all three factions, meaning, for the first time in history, France is refusing a three-way. Speaking of the silver lining, there's your silver lining, right there. Speaking of France, Italy, it's over there. There's news out of the Vatican from Supreme Pontiff and Kevin James playing Pope Francis in the blockbuster comedy Pope Blart Mall Pope. Pope Francis. That was really a long walk and worth every second of it.
Totally worth it.
With Jackmas upon us, His Holiness gave some tips to priests this weekend, saying, many times there are long sermons, 20, 30 minutes. The sermon must contain an idea and an invitation to do things. Maximum 8 to 10 minutes, please. Yes, Padre, you gotta keep it short. It's like Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the peacemakers, for they, oops, that's my time. Please tip your disciples. Now, always. For a month now, we here at The Late Show have been laser focused on the most important story of our time. The 43 monkeys who's escaped the Alpha Genesis Research Facility in South Carolina. Well, this saga just flung us a steaming new twist. That's right. It's time for an ooh-ooh-ah-ah update. Welcome. When last we met, 39 of the 43 monkeys have been recaptured and appear to be healthy. And I'm sure they will remain healthy at the lab where researchers safely inject them with health. I think that's what the lab is working on, is how healthy can we make monkeys? With 4 monkeys still at large, the world is waiting with bated banana breath for more news. But then, without warning, Alpha Genesis stopped providing updates, meaning this is no longer an update, it's a monkey mystery. Welcome. Here's what we know. Since November 18th, Alpha Genesis has gone silent. But why? To solve a monkey mystery, one must think like a monkey. Watson, my pipe.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, it worked in rehearsal. Follow me down the monkey hole. For there is where you will find this clue. The day that Alpha Genesis stopped providing updates was the very same day that a local news outlet published a damning story about escapes and deaths at the facility, all leaked by a whistleblower. So we know there's a monkey with a whistle. And Alpha Genesis is covering it up, but the plot ripens. As a broadcaster, I will not stand for this cover-up. Alpha Genesis, come clean about the location of your missing monkeys, not just for your reputation, not just for science, but so that I can keep talking about them on my show. And to the missing monkeys themselves, gals, I hope you're having fun. If you ever want to chat, you know how to reach me. We've got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Kate McKinnon and Peter Sarsgaard.